Hello and welcome to this presentation on coronavirus and other infectious diseases, ways to catch and avoid, and probably some crucial things that you didn't know. My name is Matt Rzewski. I am instructor trainer for Medic Solo Disaster and Wilderness Medical School. I'm also a geomedic, a wilderness EMT, and a street medic. Let's talk about infectious and communicable illnesses and diseases. There's a term called pathogen. What that is a catch-all term for organisms that cause infection. And we're going to look at how can we catch these pathogens, organisms that can cause infection, ways to have transmission of them, and then how we can protect ourselves from catching them in the first place. So, different ways we can get sick. Direct contact, such as you come in contact directly with somebody's blood. Ways to prevent that: medical gloves, glasses, face shield, waterproof clothing, condom, safety glasses, face shield, waterproof clothing. Why would we need to wear these? Well, when you're washing a wound out, it's best to use a syringe minus the needle and forcefully spray it right into a cut. And you can get splashback onto your clothes, your face, your eyes. Another way we can catch pathogens is called indirect contact, such as you touch a contaminated doorknob or contaminated light switch. Ways to prevent these: unless you have just cleaned your hands, don't touch your face, eyes, nose, mouth, ears, or private parts. If you're going to wash your hands, soap and water. How long do surgeons wash their hands for? Minutes. We should do it for at least 20 seconds. What does the soap do? It helps break free any pathogens that are on your skin, and then the flowing water rinses them away. Antibacterial soap, that's okay against bacteria, but coronavirus is, of course, a virus. That's not going to help against coronavirus. Hand sanitizer, at least 30 seconds. That's a long time. Count it out. And whether you're washing your hands with soap and water or using hand sanitizer, not just the palmar surfaces of your hands, but the backs of your hands, and in between your fingers, and underneath jewelry, and under your fingernails, and in your cuticles, and just continuously rubbing with the water flowing over, or with sanitizer on there. The sanitizer, again, at least 30 seconds. So what if after 15 seconds your hands go dry? What should we do? More hand sanitizer. Make it add up to 30. If after 30 seconds your hands are still moist, don't let them air dry. Keep rubbing. That'll make it even safer. In a laboratory setting, a medical study proved that coronavirus can live on non-porous materials such as steel, glass, plastic, and vinyl for more than 28 days. Some people, when they go to a grocery store, they like to wear gloves. Okay, so that's a great idea for folks who have a cut or a scrape on their hand, and any pathogen could get directly in through their hand. So let's suppose I'm at a grocery store, and here I am, I've got two different cans, and I'm wondering, do I like these ingredients, or is this can better? I'm not really sure. I'm going to itch here. Oh, wait a minute, someone's calling me. Hello? Oh, I guess it was a wrong number. Okay, I think I'll choose this can, and so I'm going to get my pen here, and see if I can cross it off my list. Alright, great. Okay, let's pause there. How many mistakes did I make? Just by having gloves on doesn't necessarily keep you safe. It's great to use as a reminder, oh, I'm wearing gloves, don't touch myself. And don't touch my clothes. And if you think about it, I touched this can. It could have had live coronavirus on it. I touched my face, I itched my eye. I went into my pocket, and thus now the inside of my pocket may be contaminated. I got out my phone, and touched my phone. And how many times do we wash our phone at the same time as we wash or sanitize our hands? I got out the pen in my pocket. That may be contaminated now, as may be this piece of paper. My gosh. Very, very difficult to get all of this right. Another medical study proved these ways to be effective at killing coronavirus on clean surfaces. So you got to wash off any crumbs or what have you first, and then coat the surface with either any of these liquids, 0.1% bleach, 0.5% hydrogen peroxide, or hand sanitizer basically, 62 to 71% ethanol. The key is that you have to have these surfaces wet for at least a minute. That's a long time. But the study showed that it needs a whole minute in order to kill off all of the virus there. So consider that if you're going to a public place where you're going to be sitting in a chair and using a table, maybe have a rag that's soaked in these inside a container, and when you arrive, soak the surfaces of your chair and the table with that. Let it go for a whole minute. Best to just let it air dry instead of drying it afterwards. First I'm going to take my gloves off here. So we need to do it in a way that doesn't get any virus or blood that may be on my gloves onto me. So hands downhill, pinch inside the heel of the palm, pull downward, and the glove comes off inside out. Ball up the glove inside the other hand. One finger, hand still downhill, underneath the cuff, and then the glove comes off inside out. Dispose of glove, all the bad stuff is on the inside now. Another way we can catch pathogens is if it's in the air that we're breathing, or that in the air that comes in contact with our eyes, for example. So ways that we can protect against these is wear a mask, wear eye protection. If you're going to be giving rescue breaths for somebody, put onto them a CPR face shield. So masks, of course, you may have a mask that looks like this, and we have goggles, and it's best if they are airtight. On my keychain, inside this little pouch is a CPR face shield as well as a pair of non-latex medical gloves. Something that's helpful and nifty is to have this strap that goes behind your neck. That way, if you're wearing a mask and you're getting tired of this digging into the back of your ears, you can take this and use that to go behind your neck, and now it's not digging into my ears. You can home make that strap with fabric and 2 buttons. As for goggles, well, when somebody's wearing them with a mask, the goggles can fog up. Really frustrating. So maybe you can use some stuff called sea drops or other solutions that you put onto the surface of the goggles that helps anti-fog, prevent the fog from happening. It may work if you take some medical tape or athletic tape and actually tape the top surface of your mask onto your face, which will help prevent air from going upward, and then it won't get into the inner surface of your goggles. Some more specifics on masks. This mask here, P100 mask. What's wrong with this picture when it comes to coronavirus transmission? This here is an exhalation valve. So if I'm wearing this mask, when I exhale, my exhaled vapor goes right out through this one-way valve. And unless I'm wearing such as a surgical mask underneath, then I'm putting everybody who I walk past at risk. Exhalation valves can look like this. I've seen them on dark-colored masks that are circular, in the middle, off to the side. A medical study proved that coronavirus can live in exhaled vapor suspended in the air for over 3 hours. It does not all fall to the ground when you exhale. Is it safe for you and others to take your mask off when you're in a public bathroom toilet stall? Have you ever been outside, such as at a beach, and you smelled smoke, and you looked around for who's the smoker? and that person is 100 feet away. That's exhale. Wearing a mask in public spaces, indoors and outdoors, protects everyone's freedoms. If you're out for a hike, someone gets hurt, and you want to help them out, if they're not wearing a mask, Scout motto, how can you be prepared for this situation? Pack extra masks. How can we drink water or pop in a small snack if we are out in public spaces without exhaling vapor? You can do that. Just take a deep breath, hold your breath, pull up your mask so it's bunched up just below your nostrils. Have a drink or a bite, pull down the mask, and then exhale. Again, take a deep breath, hold that breath, and then pull down the mask, drink, exhale. If I mistakenly exhaled through my nose while I was drinking or eating, well, my mask was bunched up underneath my nose, and hopefully that'll catch the exhaled vapor. What's wrong with this picture? Is it safe for folks to have their nose exposed when they're not talking? If they're breathing out their nose, that's dangerous for people who come by that airspace. People sometimes have what I call a chin guard. That's obviously not helping you out. People doing these things, even if they feel healthy, are risking killing you and others. As you probably know, one can have COVID-19, feel perfectly healthy with no symptoms, and be contagious and infect others. When we take off our mask, what should we touch next? That's a trick question. Nothing. Because the outside surface of that mask might have virus particles on it. You need to go wash or sanitize your hands, or both. In a laboratory setting, a medical study proved that coronavirus can live on cotton fabric for 14 days. That's 2 weeks on cotton clothing. If you are in an environment that has people violating your safety by not wearing masks or not wearing them properly, and you've walked through their airspace, what would be the safest thing for you to do before you go hop into your car? Consider peeling off your outer layer of clothing so virus doesn't get from your clothes onto your car seat. Put them into a bag. What should you do when you get home? The bag should be dumped directly into the washing machine, and then go take a shower. And when you do, close your eyes and mouth when you wash your hair and face, just in case virus was there so it washes down without getting in. A few more coronavirus notes and then we'll move on. If one gets COVID-19 symptoms, they were contagious potentially up to 3 days before their first symptom. Many, if not all, COVID-19 tests are not 100% accurate. Look it up. Lastly, if you get COVID-19 once, then get it again sometime later. That's possible. And that second time can be harsher symptoms than the first time. Another way that you can catch pathogens is via insect bites. The insects are what's called a vector, transmitting that pathogen to you. How can you catch malaria? Only certain species of mosquitoes. Can you catch malaria from a tick? No. Can you catch Lyme disease from a tick? Yes. Can you catch Lyme disease from a mosquito? No. Can a mosquito bite someone who has COVID-19, then bite you, and you contract COVID-19 from that mosquito bite? Medical science doesn't know. Maybe. Strongly consider taking measures to not get bitten in the first place. Use insect repellents such as DEET or picaridin. These bottles are different sizes and forms, liquid and spray cans and lotion of picaridin. And picaridin has been proven to be as good, if not more effective than DEET. And it's not toxic like DEET, might be, and it doesn't eat through plastic like DEET does. These repellents are for your skin. Ticks are little mini cesspools which can harbor and transmit a huge variety of pathogens, including many illnesses that you likely have never heard of. Look up powassan if you'd like. If you get that, there's a good chance your brain's going to swell up, and then you're going to have permanent brain damage for life, or it might swell up enough and actually kill you. A senator in North Carolina died from powassan. There are several other deadly tick-borne illnesses. So use permethrin. Here's a large spray bottle of it. It sprays onto your clothes, shoes, socks, hat. Some people spray it onto their tent rainfly. It lasts for 6 weeks and through 6 washes. A study that was done proved that if you sprayed just your shoes and socks, let alone your whole outfit with permethrin, you are 74 times less likely to get a tick on you in the first place. I haven't had a single tick on me in 6 years. That last time 6 years ago, I was wearing sandals, and I didn't think, oh, of course I can spray my sandals. I was just used to spraying my boots. Since then, I've sprayed my sandals and shoes and socks and pants, and I have not had a single tick on me since then, and I am out in the wilderness a lot. Life is a lot better not getting ticks on me. Permethrin also fends off flying insects. So use permethrin, use picaridin, and of course always check yourself and others for ticks, including your pets. Another way we can transmit pathogens is waterborne. So if you're in a place that doesn't have clean water, or you are trying to drink water from a stream, ways we can protect against catching pathogens. Of course, you can boil it, filter it. My favorite is the SteriPen, which is this nifty mechanism here. You put it into a liter of water, turn it on, spin it around for 90 seconds. It emits ultraviolet radiation and kills everything after 90 seconds. And if you're in a place that doesn't have clean water, don't get drinks with ice in them. Ice does not kill all pathogens. When it thaws, there you've got it. And then you can catch pathogens via food. So if you're in a place that doesn't have clean water and the food might have been washed with that clean water, or you're worried about the food maybe having pathogens, cook it. Or if it's something like a fruit that's you're not going to cook, it needs to have a peel on it. And wash the peel before you eat it. And the peel needs to be not damaged. There was an outbreak of an illness traced to a factory that took in grapefruits, and the grapefruits were coming in contact with unclean water, and the grapefruits that had damage on the skin, the pathogens from the water were getting into the grapefruits and living in there. So make sure your fruit doesn't have any damage on the skin. All of this boils down to body substance isolation. Keep people's stuff out of your stuff and vice versa. Vaccinations are key to keeping ourselves safe. As first aiders, we might accidentally come in contact with other people's blood. So consider going to get your hepatitis A and B vaccinations if you haven't already. Pre-protect yourself from those. There are many other vaccinations out there. Try to stay up to date. Check in with your doc or the local health department. They can help you get those vaccinations. Thank you all so much for participating in this presentation, helping to keep yourself and the people you provide first aid to and everyone else out there safe. If you'd like to learn other topics from Medic Solo, please visit us at solowfa.com. There are other mini courses available, as well as our entire disaster travel and wilderness first aid course, an extremely thorough and comprehensive course available online, as well as in person. Thanks again, and enjoy your day.